Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are designing a responsive portfolio website from scratch using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And we have already designed the desktop version, so this is how it looks. And we have also added the necessary JavaScript. So if I click on this menu icon over here, we can see that the menu items are displayed over here. And if I click on any of these menu items, we can see we are taken to that section over here in our website. Now in this video, we will make this website responsive. So if you go to the original design and if I decrease the width of the browser window, here we can see this is how it will look on a device with this width. So this screen is basically for devices like tablets, and if you scroll down, we can see that there are 2 projects in a row, and in our desktop version we had 3 projects in a row. And if you scroll down, we have smaller font size for this text, and for the footer we have a different layout. So this is how it will look on a tablet, and let's decrease the width even more. Now this is how it will look on a smartphone. So if you scroll down, we have just 1 project in a row. So this is what we're going to do in this video. Let's get started. Alright, so here I'm in the CSS of our website. So let's scroll down and let's create a comment. So here let's type media queries. And let's create a media query. So let's type at media and we'll set a max width of 740 pixels. So whenever the screen width is less than 740 pixels, whatever styles we have inside this block will be added to our website. Now the first thing we will do is decrease the padding of this nav bar. So if you right click over here and click on inspect, and if you take a look at the main nav, and in the main nav we have this wrapper. So for the wrapper, we can see that we have a padding of 0.50 pixels. So let's reduce that a little bit. So here I'll just type nav.mainNav wrapper, and let's set a padding of 0 for top and bottom, and let's try 16 pixels, or let's try 32 pixels, and I think that looks alright. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to place all these items one below the other. So here we can see we have the left section over here on the top, and then we have the image at the bottom. So for that, let's target the wrapper inside the header. So I'll just type header wrapper, and let's set the flex direction to column. And now we can see that the left division is at the top and the right division is at the bottom. Now let's style the left division. So we have 2 divisions in our HTML. Here we can see in the header we have this left division and the right division. So let's type header left, and let's set a margin top, and let's set it to 100 pixels. Alright, now let's change the font size of this heading. So let's type header left, and we have an H1 for the heading. So let's set the font size to 40 pixels. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to bring all these elements to the center of the left division. So here if I just add a background color, here we can see this is the height of the left division. So let's bring all of these elements to the center. So for that, I'll just set the display to flex, and I will set the flex direction to column, and then we'll type justify content center. Alright, let's remove the background color. Alright, now let's style the right division. So here I'll just type header right, and first of all let's add a background color, and let's see what is the height and the width of the right division. And we can see that it is not being displayed over here, so let's set a width. So let's type width of 100%, and now we can see we have this image displayed over here. Alright, now the next thing we will do is bring this image to the center. So for that, let's set the display to flex, and we'll set justify content to center. And now we'll also increase the height of this division a little more than the left division. So I'll just set the flex to 1.5. So now the right division has 1.5 times greater height than the left division. Right, now let's remove this background color. Right, now let's set the height of the image and this background shape. So let's type header right, and for the image we have a class of hero image, and for the shape we have a class of hero bg. So let's type hero image, and let's try a height of 100%. Right now let's set the height and the width of the hero BG. So let's type header right hero BG, and let's try a width of 280 pixels, and let's add a top value, and let's try 20 pixels, or I think 60 pixels. That looks alright. Alright, that's basically it with the hero section. Now let's scroll down, and here we have the my project section. Now for the my project section, we will just have 2 images in a row. If we scroll up and if we take a look at the CSS, here we can see for the gallery we had set a grid template columns of 1FR, 1FR, 1FR. So that's why we have 3 columns over here. Now let's scroll down, and here we will just type gallery, and let's set grid template columns to 1FR, 1FR. And now we can see there are 2 images in a row. So that's it with the my project section. Now for all the headings in our sections, we will just decrease the font size. So let's type section H2, and let's set the font size to 40 pixels, and we'll also decrease the font size of this before selector. So let's type section H2 : before, and we'll set the font size to 80 pixels. Right now let's scroll down, and here we have the services section. Now we will decrease the font size of these list items. So if we go to the HTML file, and if we scroll down, here we can see for the services we have this UL, and in that we have these list items. So let's select that over here. So I'll just type services ULLI, and let's set the font size to 20 pixels, and we'll also decrease the margin. So let's set the margin to 12 pixels top and bottom, and 0 for left and right. Alright, so that's it with the services section. Now let's scroll down, and here we have the testimonials section. So for the testimonial section, we just need to change the position of this quote icon. So let's do that. Now for the quote icon, we have an image with a class of quote icon. So here we can see, here we have this img tag with a class of quote icon. So here I'll just type testimonials swiper slide, and in that we have quote icon, and let's set the height to 100 pixels, and we'll also set the top position to 120 pixels, and that looks alright. Alright, now let's scroll down, and here we have the my skills section. Let's decrease the height of these images. So if we go to the HTML file, and here we can see in our swiper.js we need to remove the scroll bar, so we hadn't removed that. So I'll just remove this division from here. Right now if you go to the skills section, here we can see inside the skills section we have an icons container division, and in that we have all these img tags. So here I'll just type skills icons container img, and let's set the height to 80 pixels. Now in the tablet version we don't want to hide this text, so here we can see in our original design we have the text displayed over here by default. So let's do that. If we scroll up to our CSS for the skills section, here we can see for the skill we have set an opacity of 0. So here I'll just type skills icons container icon skill, and let's set the opacity to 1, and now we have the text displayed over here. Now let's scroll down, and I think we don't have to change anything in the contact section. So let's scroll down, and for the footer we need to change the layout. So we need to set it one below the other. So let's target the wrapper inside the footer. So I'll just have footer wrapper, and let's set the flex direction to column, and we'll also set a gap of 8 pixels. We'll also decrease the gap between these images. So let's type footer social, and in that we have anchor tags. So we'll set a margin of 0 for top and bottom, and 16 pixels left and right. And we'll also decrease the height of the img tag. So I'll just type footer social img, and let's set the height to 30 pixels. Alright, so that's basically it with the tablet version of our website. Now let's make some minor changes to our smartphone version. Right, so here I have decreased the width of the browser. Now for the smartphone version we have these buttons one below the other. So let's do that. Let's create a media query for that. So let's tap at media, and let's set a max width of 600 pixels. And if you go back to our HTML file and if we scroll up and go to the header, here we can see for the buttons we have a division with the class of buttons. So let's target that. Here I'll just tap buttons and let's set it to display flex and flex direction to column, and we will add a gap of 16 pixels, and let's also decrease the width of these buttons. So let's tap buttons a.btn, because here we can see we have this anchor tag with a class of btn. So let's set a max width for the buttons and let's set it to, let's try 160 pixels, and I think that looks alright. Right, now let's scroll down and we will decrease the font size of the heading. So let's tap section H2 and let's set a font size of 30 pixels, and we'll also decrease the font size of this before selector. So let's tap section H2 : before, and let's set the font size to 40 pixels, and we'll also set a top value of -20 pixels, and I think that looks alright. Now for the gallery we just need to have one image in a row. So let's type gallery and let's set the grid template columns to 1fr, and we'll also set a max width. So let's tap max width and let's set it to 300 pixels, and we'll also bring it to the center. So let's tap margin 0 for top and bottom and auto for left and right. Right, that's it with the My Project section. Now let's scroll down, and I don't think we need to change anything in the services section. Let's scroll down. Now here in the testimonials section, we'll just decrease the height of this quote icon. Let's type testimonials swiper slide quote icon, and let's set a height of 60 pixels, and let's set the top position to 140 pixels, and I think we can decrease the font size a little bit. So let's right click over here and inspect. And for the paragraph we have a font size of 18 pixels. So let's copy this selector and let's paste it over here, and let's set the font size to 16 pixels, and that looks alright. Right, now let's scroll down and we have the My Skills section. Now for the My Skills section we'll just have two skills in a row. So here I'll just type skills icons container, and we will set grid template columns to 1fr. Right, so that's it with the My Skills section. Let's scroll down, and the last thing we will do is we will decrease the font size of this logo. So let's type footer logo and let's set the font size to 24 pixels. Right, so that's basically it with the smartphone version of our website. Now let's click on this menu icon, and we can see that the menu items are displayed over here, but the position of the close icon is not correct. So let's right click over here and inspect, and let's click on the close icon, and for the close icon also we have set a padding of 0.50 pixels. So let's copy this selector and let's paste it inside the media query of the tablet version. So I'll just paste it over here, and here I'll just type padding, and we have set a padding of 0.32 pixels for the wrapper. So we will do the same over here as well. We can also copy and paste this selector from here and add it over here. So I'll just add a comma and paste it over here, and let's delete this. Alright, so now we have the close icon in the correct position. So that's basically it with the design of our website. So that's it for this video. If you have any doubts you can ask in the comments below, and I will also leave the link of the source code in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and check that out. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.